Hello everybody and welcome back to Pilot2ATC version 2.0. Just want to give you an update on the status of the beta release for our internal users. We had hoped to have it out in December and looks like it's going to be January now, today being the New Year's Eve. But we should have it out fairly soon. We've added some features and done some additional testing, so it delayed our date. But I wanted to show you a couple of those features today. One is the flight plan importer, and there's a little importer button here. It brings up the importer window, and it allows you to copy and paste flight plans from some web-based flight planning tools. One's Fligh Aware, which gives you actual flight plans. They also have a flight plan database and real-world flight plan database. So 3 sites that give you real-world flight plans that have either been flown or being planned to be flown. And I've already pulled up a couple here from KDFW to KLGA. So this is Fligh Aware, and you just copy the flight plan right there, that one line. Control C, bring it over here to the text box, do a Control V. Notice that the airport ICAO codes are not there, so we need to put those in. KDFW is the departure, and space, very important to put that space in there. And then at the end we need a space followed by KLGA. Then we press import. And it will create a flight plan based on that information. And it also centers the map on the flight plan, and we can take a quick look at that and see that it looks reasonable. And then you come over here to look at the flight plan. You'll notice that it took the SID and the star out. That's because those will, depending upon when you fly it, it'll vary depending upon the runway that you're going to be departing on and arriving at. So you can add those back in like you normally would. It also doesn't have cruise out to ground speed, those sorts of things. So you add those in, and then you've got yourself a valid flight plan. Okay, let's try another one. This time we'll go over to Europe and try this flight from EGLL to EGPH. Copy that, hit the importer, and this is from the flight plan database site. And copy that in there. Press import. And notice that one of these waypoints looks like Margot is way out of whack. Now that could be for a lot of different reasons. It could be just that that particular waypoint is no longer in, a valid waypoint in the UK. But we've got a couple of choices here. One, we can just select it and delete it and add one in manually. That would be one way to handle it. Or we can go back over here and pick another flight plan. Let's just pick this next one. Copy it, come back to the importer. Make sure again we've got the right format. Paste, import, and see what we get. Okay, this time we got a good one, so we could just stick with that. Notice again that it has the airways here identified that happen to be in this particular flight plan. Okay, so kind of a major upgrade to flight planning capabilities. Another flight planning feature that we've added, which I think everybody's going to like, is the ability to get a recommended SID or star based on the active runway and the flight plan that you've got. So I went back to this KDFW to LaGuardia flight plan, and we'll click on the SID, and notice when it pops up it tells us what the active runway is, 35 left, and it has our recommended SID here, and all we have to do to fly the recommended SID is press the load button, and it'll load it up and we'll be ready to go on the SID. Then we can add the star. Again, it'll give us the one recommended for the runway in use, runway 31. That looks good. coming in from the east. So let's go ahead and load that. Now we need to complete the flight plan as cruise altitude. So let's put in flight level 330 going east. And we'll put in 500 knots as our planned ground speed. And now we've got a completed flight plan. We can file it and fly it. And notice it here, it put in the star. And back over here, it's got the SayIt. Okay, now we're connected and we're ready to file and ready to call for clearance. Now we could just go ahead and do that in the normal manner, but we have this new speech assistant, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use that. Question mark here opens it up. Based on the frequency that we're on, and we're not on a good frequency at this point, so let's go ahead and pop this window up, and KDFW clearance delivery, that's what we need. Pops that into standby. We'll go active with that frequency. Now we need to request our clearance. So there's some other things we could do. We could ask for VFR flight following, frequency change request, or repeat last transmission. But we'll go ahead and say we're ready to copy our IFR clearance. We click on that selection and it pops this line over here into the speech window, and we press SayIt.
Eclipse 1 Victor Bravo ready to copy IFR clearance.
And
Eclipse 1 Victor Bravo is cleared to Kilo Lima Gulf Alpha, fly the text for departure, with the MLC transition, then as filed. Climb via altitude restrictions published in the departure. Departure on 118.55 squawk 5200.
Okay, so it read us our clearance, and notice it gave us another message with a little tilde in front. So these gold messages are ones that SayIt can handle if it's got this little character in front, so I can hit SayIt.
Eclipse 1 Victor Bravo is cleared to Kilo Lima Gulf Alpha fly the TEX for departure with the MLC transition then as filed departure on 118.55 squawk 5200.
Okay, it takes a second or two and then it
Eclipse
will
1
recognize
Victor
it.
Bravo read back correct. Contact ground on 121.65 when ready to taxi. Have a nice flight.
Okay, and again our response is right here in the window. You don't have to look it up.
Ground on 121.65 Eclipse 1 Victor Bravo.
Okay, now we can pick 121.65 ground right up here, or we could have typed it in. Switch, and now our context for the speech assistant changes to ground frequency, and we have a whole different list of possibilities. We can request pushback, engine start if you do those things. If you're flying general aviation, you might just go straight to taxi. And then we could tell ground that we're ready to taxi by clicking on this. Puts it over here. We say it.
Eclipse 1 Victor Bravo ready to taxi.
Eclipse 1 Victor Bravo standby.
And now we'll get our taxi instructions in the same way that we got our flight clearance. And we're at DFW, so it takes a while to calculate the taxi instructions. They've got miles and miles of
Eclipse 1
taxiways.
Victor Bravo taxi to runway 35 left via taxiways Echo Golf, Kilo, Yankee, Alpha, Juliet Sierra, Echo Romeo, hold short runway 17 right, and runway 35 left.
Okay, I think you get the hang of it. So basically you can go through an entire flight without yourself saying anything. Don't necessarily recommend that, but certainly on some of these longer ones where you're having trouble being understood, it can come in handy. Or if you're just learning the language of air traffic control, it can help you learn that as well. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and again, we're looking forward to getting our beta out to our existing users sometime in January, and hopefully by February we'll have tested it enough to put it out to the general public. Thank you very much, and take care. See you next time.